Good morning, it's Talking Reds. I'm John Gibbons. This is Harriet Prior. We're here to bring you all the latest from LFC land, right here in the heart of Liverpool. We're going to talk a little bit more about the fallout, the continuing fallout. Who knows what accusations are coming next from the Liverpool-Man City game on Sunday. But we're also going to look ahead to tonight because there's another game of football. They come thick and fast, obviously. And West Ham tonight, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm made up we're back at Anfield. You know, I'm made up the games come so quickly, and although, you know, there is a few sort of selection headaches that we'll come on to, I'm still really excited about the game. I'm really excited. I think it's really positive that we're back at Anfield. I was writing my preview for the game, which will be up later today, a little self-promotion. It wasn't even intentional, but it's all right. It's all in the content. It's all in the content. And I was talking about on Sunday how both parties needed to do their job. Obviously, the team on the pitch needed to believe that they could be the best and be the best again, and they fulfilled that end. And then the people that were in Anfield needed to make the right atmosphere and needed to make the Man City players feel like they were in hell, and I feel like we held that up as well. So hopefully tonight we can do the same, because I think the atmosphere was just so good and we want to build on that. I want to build on the performance. I just want to see a bit of consistency now with the performances. You know, we've had 9-0s and then we've crashed back down to earth, and we've had last-minute winners and then we've crashed back down to earth. So how can we now build on a good result in Europe against Rangers, a really incredible result against Man City, and kickstart the season from there? So I'm looking forward to it. You talk about the atmosphere. Jurgen Klopp's written something in the programme tonight, but it's also on the official website. I think they're hoping for as many people to see as possible, basically praising the atmosphere on Sunday and hoping that we can get something similar. I mean, listen, Liverpool-Man City is the biggest game in the calendar now, isn't it? So you're never quite going to get to those levels, but listen, we can all bring our A game tonight. Everyone's a final, he said. Every game's a final, and he was praising the atmosphere generally so far this season. I noticed in his press conference for this, but he's written something really good. As I say, it's in the programme tonight, but it's also on the club website, and he said, Anfield is intoxicating. It makes you feel like anything is possible, and that's a wonderful line by a wonderful man, but it does feel like that sometimes, doesn't it? That when we're really on it, and when the crowd, you know, are really, you know, on our top game, we almost become this like extra force that, like you say, becomes an asset for us, but also something that the opposition can't deal with. Yeah, something the opposition can't deal with, but yeah, definitely a huge asset for us. And it was the kind of atmosphere on the weekend where as soon as the game started and we put a good tackle in, the crowd would cheer, and Mo Salah missed a good chance, and you hear Anfield kind of singing his name, and it's the kind of thing that doesn't let the players' heads go down, because too many times this season something bad has happened, we've conceded early, and even when it's been at Anfield, you've noticed the players' heads go down, the crowd's heads go down really, and it's like not allowing that to happen. Yeah. We all play a part in that, and you saw on Sunday that even when City got in behind, even when we missed chances, the crowd didn't stop and the players didn't stop as a consequence. So really using that to their advantage was great. Yeah, because Klopp used the word emotional in the press conference, and he said, listen, I understand it's an emotional crowd, and I think that's where he's saying, you know, sometimes people are going to get down, sometimes people are going to get anxious. You know, he gets that, but it's almost like on us to sort of fight against that, really. And when we're starting to feel a little bit like nervy and biting our nails, and you've gone dead quiet. Yeah, not said a word. Like, you almost like remind yourself of your role, really. Yeah. And that's what Jurgen's doing for all of us here. What you do, and sometimes you're so on edge and you're just so willing things to go right that you sort of forget that you have to be loud and be vocal. And I mean, I'm so bad at if you've ever sat next to me or near me in a football match, I sat next to a man in the Champions League final who came in for a meeting the other day. He was like, you're a lot calmer than last time I saw you, because I feel like he thought I was so rude, because he just didn't speak to him for the whole entirety of the game. But yeah, just knowing that you can make an influence if you're lucky enough to be in that ground, but also knowing that all the players from wherever you're watching in the world, they feed off that energy. They know how many people support their club, and they know they want to do well for millions of people across the world, and they feed off that, and hopefully can put in the performance to back it up. Yeah, I'll just read a few more quotes out from Jurgen Klopp, because they are brilliant. Like he says, wow, which you can't help but read in Jurgen's voice. Read it in his accent. When Anfield is like it is on Sunday, it is the most incredible place. If it didn't exist, someone would have to invent it, because of the kind of passion is what football was made for. I think the English word for it is intoxicating. It makes you feel like anything is possible, and that through sheer power of will, enthusiasm and emotion, you can affect things for the better. There will be people out there with much more intelligence than I have who can explain it better. I'm not sure, Jurgen. But all I know is it helps our team in difficult situations. It makes us feel like we can find a way out. In bad times, it gives us hope. In good times, it can make the difference. And Yeah, I mean, that sums it up really, doesn't it? If there's, if that doesn't make you want to get in the ground, what time's it open? Yeah. Is it open at midday? Can we get in there now?
It's 7:30 kickoff tonight. People don't forget that, because I have found is it 7:30?
Yeah, I told Neil the other day. He was like, really? He was like, I'd have missed that. So yeah, 7:30 kickoff tonight. But maybe get in at 6 and just warm up the vocal cords, start singing, because like Jürgen said, we can make a difference. And like Harriet Prior, that other great football man said before, it is cup finals now, and we want to build on City, but I think the team will as well. And you saw the determination from them to get a result. I thought the comments after from Virgil van Dijk were really good when he talked about the determination to do a right performance, to defend and to make sure that they held on and won that game. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, and I'm going to prove foolish, but I just don't see them slipping after that, so soon, because now they know, now they've got the very, very recent memory of when they put it in, what they can sort of get out. And I'm hoping and thinking that they'll, maybe not go exactly the same tonight, because it's a different game and a different sort of, opponent and different challenge, but with that same level of intensity, desire and will, I think we will see.
Yeah, I think there's no one that's been more disappointed with the start of the season than the players themselves, because whenever they've spoken or whenever you've seen them in interviews, they know that their level hasn't been good enough, and they know that they haven't been bailing each other out. And I think that's a key thing to why Liverpool have been so successful, is that whenever one of them slipped up or made a mistake, they've been so quick to bail each other out and play as a real unit. And we saw that again. Is there a funny comment?
Someone put morning beautiful Reds. Gibbo looks very managerial this morning, which is funny. I think I look like a Sabutio figure. I think I look like a Sabutio man.
Well, you really made him smile. It was all over his face. The compliment he was wearing.
Sorry, Harriet. Yeah, you were saying.
As I was saying, it felt like they were really playing as a cohesive unit again, and that's something they can build on now. And I don't, you don't want to see that after the performance they had at the weekend, that they come in midweek and they don't perform to the levels that we know they're capable of. So I think they'll feel they have to push themselves now and keep going. I think there will be a bit of a refresh in the team and in the starting lineup. I don't think it will be the exact same, obviously, that the Jota injury kind of forces that, and that's obviously heartbreaking from now, and we know that's going to be quite a period of time that he's going to be on the sidelines for. So it will be a bit of a refresh, but keeping that same core. I'd like to see us still play with 4 attacks on the pitch. I don't know what you think, if they want.
Yeah, well, I think Darwin's played on the left. He came on the left and caused a bit of mayhem.
Carvalho as well.
Yeah, and so I think maybe give him the start there and keep everything else the same is certainly an option. So it'd be interesting to see what he does. You mentioned there Carvalho, who comes off the bench and does well, I think. And so there's options there to still go with an attacking lineup. He might decide he wants to keep a little bit back, or there might be some players he played full or close to 99 minutes at the weekend that he might decide he wants to give a bit of a rest. We shall see, but I'm sure we'll see a strong attacking lineup tonight, and it'll just be nice to I think after the last few days as well, Harriet, listen, I've really enjoyed the win, but all the other stuff has done my head in a little bit, and I know I'm not alone. It'd be nice to watch some football tonight to remember sort of what we're all in it for, really, and why we fell in love with the game, because so much over the last few days, media briefings, the stuff, accusations sort of come in both sides, stuff you don't want to see from your own supporters, stuff that angers you that you're getting from others, and football clubs sort of, fighting PR wars, through briefings. It's unpleasant, and it's maybe this is the reality sort of the modern game. There's so much money in it now. There's so much at stake on and off the pitch. When obviously, especially when people are buying football clubs for varying reasons, that maybe sort of, it is sort of inevitable now, but I don't need to enjoy it, and I'd much rather, be watching tonight, and because that's what football's about, rather than all this.
Yeah, definitely. I think nowadays you can't remove football and sport in general from its political context, and I think that's what you've seen rear its head in the last few days, is that these things are so entwined, and the financial side of it will always be such a huge thing now, especially with the way the world's going. But the fact is that everyone can have an opinion online, and that just perpetuates false news, things that just aren't true, things, allows people to have an opinion that then other people link onto, and then it just sort of spreads, and things that are actually just wrong or false and nasty about individuals is then perpetuated, and it's difficult, because you just want to be enjoying on occasions like that, the result and the football and how incredible it was to be in Anfield and to experience that. So yeah, it'd just be nice to go back tonight, all be together and remember why you're all in it and what you do it for and the really fun side of it. And also just, I know like we keep going back to this, but especially in the start of the season when things haven't been going as well, like just being able to be around everyone has been such a change from this time last year, 2 years ago, like having that, you winning together, you losing together, you're having that collective experience. We can all be reminded of that again tonight.
Yeah, and I think, you know, that there will be, you know, this story's going to run and run. It's been announced, I think, late last night. The Klopp has been charged by the FA for what happened with the fourth official or the assistant referee or whoever it was. He shouted that, and so he's got till Friday to announce that. So I'm presuming he'll plead guilty to it. So we'll see what happens there. There might be sort of a ban, but it's an ongoing thing. There's also been stories that Jurgen Klopp's going to look into legal proceedings against I think it's the papers rather than Manchester City itself, which I think has been the media outlets who sort of printed this idea of, you know, the xenophobia stuff. But even that, you know, I was looking at it thinking, how do we get to, you know, Jurgen Klopp talking about football finance on a Friday to him having to deny he's a xenophobe on a Monday, and it's just like, I don't know, it's mind-boggling, really.
Yeah, I think there's stuff on the touchline he's accepted that he felt he was in the wrong for, and you know the emotion got caught up and he got swept up in that, and he shouldn't have done what he did. And I think he'll just sort of accept that and have to just deal with the consequences of it. And then, yeah, he was keen not to dwell on the accusations against him in the press conference because he didn't want anything he said to be.
But then it still becomes a big story.
Of course it does. Of course it does, and it's hard because what do you say? And there's nothing you can say for the better. But it's he's just trying to express his, I guess, opinion on the financial side of football, and then it has been taken in a different direction, and he'll be keen to ensure that his, you know, that doesn't happen, and it's difficult for him. And what does he say at this point? I think he'll just have to work with his legal teams and work out what they're going to do from here, because it's putting him in a difficult situation. Yeah,
very much so. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens next. But as always, we stand with our manager, of course, and we'll stand with him tonight, and we'll stand with the players tonight, and that's where I want to sort of finish, Harriet, because, you know, someone's mentioned in the comments that, you know, we can't underestimate West Ham. Joe Marion, said need to be cautious there, despite not being in the best form, still have some dangerous players, and they've got a good attacking players. I think the Italian forward, Schumacher, has looked dangerous sort of the last few weeks after, you know, taking a little bit of a while to sort of settle in, and they'll be careful with him. I think Michael Antonio's a fantastic player. Jared Bowen's not quite hit the heights of last season, but is still dangerous. They put here 4-0, loads of goal against us. You know, if Moyes lets them off the leash a little bit, and, you know, listen, if we score sort of, he might have to. They do have players who can hurt us. So although, you know, we're talking about how many forwards we want to pick and how we want to attack them, you know, we need to make sure we're on it in both ways, which is what Jurgen will be telling them, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, we've seen against any opposition in the Premier League that in moments of lapses of concentration or individual mistakes, they can harm you. And I think with the attacking talent that West Ham have, they've certainly got that in their locker to catch on the counter and to pose a threat. It's interesting, I think fans have been a bit frustrated for West Ham not playing Antonio and Skamaka, however you say it, together. So I wonder if that'll be something Moyes tries to unleash on Anfield.
I don't think he'll do it tonight.
I imagine he just goes for it. But yeah, we know what to expect from a David Moyes team. They're going to be organised, they're going to try and slow the pace of the game down, they're going to try and catch us in the counter-attack, so we just need to be aware of the threats that Liverpool pose, but don't doubt that Jurgen Klopp and his team will have nailed that down, so hopefully we'll be ready and prepared.
Yeah, I'm sure we will be. Listen, if you go in tonight, enjoy it. Make all the noise that Jurgen wants you to, and he said makes a massive difference for the players on the pitch as well. Or if you watch it wherever it is around the world, enjoy it with your supporters clubs or your family or whoever you do watch the game with as well. Because like Harriet said, it's every game's a cup final now, and we're here to enjoy it. Straight after the game tonight, there'll be, of course, our post-match content. So the audio is happening, hosted by me at the Glenbook, and the video is live. I say live, it's happening. We won't be, going out as quickly as we can from the Sandon Pub, the birthplace of Liverpool Football Club, right by the ground as well. So make sure you either subscribe through YouTube or you download the app and get involved in that way for that post-match content. And hopefully, after another big Liverpool win. A couple of other things I wanted to mention as well before we go. There's still 40% off everything on our shop. Thank you, Harriet. So everything at the moment, we're having a bit of a clear out. We want to get some new stuff in for the new season and for Christmas and all that. So working on some great designs. So to get rid of a bit of the stock that's over there, it's 40% off absolutely everything at the moment at theanfieldwrap.com/shop. Yeah, so grab yourself a bargain. There's the Mo Salah one as well. And this lovely design that Andrew Jones did, which is an Ireland level. Sabutio, maybe that's why I've got Sabutio in my head. Sort of looking at that. An Ireland 11 as well, that is on there. And speaking of Ireland, we're coming back. Which is fantastic news. So the first weekend of December, we are doing live shows in Belfast, in Dublin and in Cork. So really, really looking forward to them. Just finalising our squad for that at the moment. But I'm going. I know that for sure. And Mr. Neil Atkinson obviously hosting them all as well. And so it's going to be really, really good. But really looking forward to it. Neil's put a lot of work into the shows, switching them up a little bit at the moment. He's got some really good plans to make these shows extra special. So it's always fantastic when we come over to Ireland. You guys always come out and support us. We have a good time. We have a good time on stage. You sit down but act like you're on stage, and then we all have a beer after it. It's really good fun. So looking forward to that. So I'll just get the sorry, if you just go to theanfieldwrap.com/TAW live, so that's theanfieldwrap.com/TAW live, you can buy tickets for all those live shows. But as I say, it is the first weekend of December in Belfast, Dublin and Cork in that order. That is right. Yeah, second, third and fourth. Also, this Saturday in Liverpool.
What's going on?
This Saturday in Liverpool, we're going to try something. This is why I got Post-Match Pint live in my head. This Saturday we will be doing it live, but in front of an audience. And so we've been speaking to the guys at Keynes Village. For people who don't know the area, Keynes Village is a fantastic space in the Baltic, just a short walk from Liverpool city centre, where they've got all these brilliant bars and restaurants and places to eat and enjoy yourself and go out. And we've been speaking to them about doing a few things together, and the first thing we're going to try is around the Nottingham Forest game. So come down and watch it. It's in the newly developed Keynes Brewery, so they've done it all up. It's the original brewery. They're making the original beer again, and it's a fantastic space. So we're going to watch the game in the Keynes Brewery, and then afterwards you'll be able to watch a live post-match pint, which Neil is hosting, and I think I'm on as well. So that should be really good. It's completely free. You don't need tickets. We're just giving something a go. So we're going to watch a game together. We're going to do post-match pints on a stage, which you guys will be able to watch, and then that'll be going up a little bit later. So we're just giving it something a go. So we'd love you to come down. So if you're planning on watching the away game in Liverpool this Saturday, or you can jump a train and get up and join us, we'd love to see you down at the Keynes Brewery on Saturday. I think that is everything. Is that all my announcements?
You've done a good job, yeah.
I feel like I've talked. I've certainly said words.
Made Craig Cannon happy.
And that is my life goal, after all. Listen, up the Reds. Enjoy the rest of your day. Countdown to kick-off. 7:30, as Harriet says. Don't forget, make sure you're in. Up the Reds.